Hello, it is 2024. I did my hair. I'm in a different place, different state. You know, um, I wanted to do the end of 2023 year tag last year, but I didn't because it's like kind of prep you have to do for this video that I didn't do yet. So we're gonna do it today in 2024. So this is a tag that I think Destiny Sidwell made famous. I don't know. Let me know below if you know who made this tag. But I like this. It's a lot better questions, in my opinion, than the other end of year book tag. Those questions just weren't interesting and they weren't good. So I'm going to use these. So that's why I'm doing these questions. I didn't make the order. I didn't make these questions. So it starts off with the most disappointing book, which is kind of a not great way to start the video. But I'm going to say Throne of Glass because Sarah J. Maas is author everyone's talking about, and I just never talk about what I've read by her because I haven't liked anything yet. So I'd say that's most disappointing. There wasn't enough stakes and there wasn't enough that happened in the first book. I know everyone's like, keep reading, but I don't want to like wait 5+ books for the book to be good. But it was well written, but there just wasn't enough excitement in that first book for me. So underdog book is, I'm going to say The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. I think it's not the world's best book, but I haven't heard anyone talking about it, and I did enjoy it. I like to call it like a fantasy Bridgerton. So the most overhyped book is obviously Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Obviously, I have a video on that if you want to hear what I thought about that book. A book that surprised you, I'd say Red at the Bone. It's like a family drama short book. And like I didn't think I liked that genre and I'd like that much. So it was a big surprise that I liked it. And I really recommend the book. It's like 100 some pages. Super short. My favorite book couple this year was actually from the Ex-Hex, Reese and Vivian. I really enjoyed that and I definitely want to keep reading more witchy rom-coms. My favorite new author this year is Elif Batuman, who wrote The Idiot, which is my favorite book of 2023. The most frustrating book for me was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. The book was okay, but it had an instance in the plot that frustrated me. So skip ahead if you don't want me to talk about it. I'm not going to say specifically, but there's something that the male lead should have known that the female lead was hiding from her, that she had no reason to keep from him. So that was extremely frustrating. The cringiest, we're going to get to cringiest. The longest book I read was Aurora Burning, which was 495 pages. And that's not that much, but I am reading books. Oh, actually, maybe it was Powerless by Elsie Silver, but I'm gonna stick with Aurora Burning, 495 pages. And I'm currently in the middle of books longer than that, which I didn't finish last year. The shortest book was Red at the Bone. My favorite cover, I would say 7 Days in June. I didn't love that book just because it had cringy slang and just lines. Like, don't put modern day references and slang into your book. It just ages it and it's really cringy to read. But other than that, I liked it. Book I haven't stopped thinking about, I'm gonna actually say Love Hypothesis. It was very frustrating, but I did enjoy it. And I'm writing in my own relationship, so it kind of like struck home. Not fake dating, obviously, because fake dating doesn't happen in real life, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm gonna read the rest of her books now, and I've heard good things. The cringiest book was Flatshare. I don't remember which wrap up, I talked about this maybe June, but this is like my second to least favorite book of the year. The humor was so bad. It was really cringy. So, unpopular book you loved. A lot of people DNF this book. It's Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. That book, it's a gardener and a professor that fall for each other, but it's kind of insta-love. And the Secretly Yours part of the book didn't make any sense because they both knew that they liked each other, so there was no point to the secretly part of the book. But I read reviews and people was like, there's no tension, the plot didn't make sense. It was all kind of like a physical connection between the main characters, which I understand. But I liked it. It was fun. It was like a rom-com. It was entertaining. I read it in a day. I enjoyed it other than the secretly part of it. So, the next question is lowest and highest rating. I don't know. I think they mean Goodreads. So, Secretly Yours was lowest, 3.31 rating, and fourth one was 4.62. So, I do not agree with Goodreads ratings. Excellent books for me have been rated low, and books I don't like that much, like Fourth Winning, have been rated way too high. So I just don't think the Goodreads ratings are a good thing to base your opinions off of. So, but for me, my favorite book of the year was The Idiot, like I already said, and my least favorite book was Boy Parts, which is a book in which the female lead goes around physically abusing men and then taking photos of them and posting them on the internet. I know you know it's about a morally gray character, but I feel like the book could have been executed a little better. So, my favorite quote, I didn't know what to pick for this, but I'm gonna read a quote from The Idiot that I related to. I didn't have a religion. Oh, I had to explain The Idiot. It's an autobiographical fiction about a Harvard student. I didn't have a religion. I didn't do team sports, and for a long time, orchestra had been the only place where I felt part of something bigger than I was. I was able to strive and at the same time forget myself. The loss of that feeling was extremely painful. It would have been bad enough to be someplace where there were no orchestras, but it was even worse to know that there was one, and lots of people were in it, just not me. I dreamed about it almost every night. So this is her writing about her not getting into Harvard's orchestra. I did orchestra, so I can attest to this. I did get into my orchestra, but I didn't get into my choir, so I kind of related to what she was saying. So as I said, it's autobiographical fiction of Elif Batuman, and I took a lot of the same classes that she took. I did a lot of the extracurriculars she took. We had my minor was something she was studying, so I took a lot of the same classes in college and really related, and that was why The Idiot was the favorite book of the year for me, and it's really personal to me, so I don't think that the masses will have The Idiot as their favorite book, but I do recommend it. Most unique, we're gonna go back to Boy Parts, because I didn't read any book like that. That's for sure. Let's move on from Boy Parts. A book you would like to reread, I'm gonna say Aurora Rising, because this is a YA sci-fi book. I don't want to tell you everything, what it's about, because I want you to just enjoy the book. But this is by Jay Kristoff. It's kind of giving, it's like Star Trek for kids, kind of. Not for kids, for teens. It was really frustrating that they changed the perspective of the narrator every chapter, and it was like 5 characters, so it was a bit of a carousel to keep up with everything. But I did really, really enjoy the book, and I really like the characters. So I would reread that one. out of everything. My reading goals is to read less. I read 40 books because I started in June. If I had started in January, I probably would have read, 80, because that's math. But I want to read like less than 50 books this year because I'm writing my own book and I need to put time into that. But yeah, and I definitely want to read more literary fiction because I especially love that genre this year. So thank you so much. Let me know your favorite book of last year, your least favorite book, and what your reading priorities are. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.